Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here with some physical media news because Scream Factory just announced their January drops. Plus, there's a couple of other big Chase's targets out there. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so here it is. We finally just now, within the last hour, got our January drops for Shout Factory, Scream Factory, and there is something that is a massive target for me that I have been talking about for a long time, but I'm a little let down on it, and I'm still excited to get it, but let down at the same time, and I'll elaborate. But overall, it seems like a pretty light slate in January for Scream Factory. So we're going to get into that, plus the big Criterion 50% off sale, all of that stuff that I mentioned. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's just jump right in. The thing that I've been waiting on, here it is. You have John Carpenter's Vampires in 4K coming on January the 21st. If you guys follow me, you know this is in my top 10 of favorite vampire movies of all time. I think it's super underrated. I think it is basically a Western. I think that Thomas Ian Griffin is, I always want to call him Terry Silver. I think he is terrifying and violent as Valak the vampire. I think James Woods is fantastic in this. He is a great anti-hero leading a gang of anti-heroes to hunt down these vampires for the church. I really like this movie a lot. Now, for the bad news, there are no, at least right now, there is no posting of a big black box set for this John Carpenter movie. Now, they have done it for the Halloween movies. They did it for Escape from New York. They did it for The Fog. They did it for Village of the Damned. They even did it on Blu-ray for Big Trouble in Little China. But as of right now, there is no big black box set for this John Carpenter release from Scream Factory. I have no idea why. No idea why. They've literally done it for every other movie. Excuse me. What they are going to get, and so I'm a little bummed like that because I wanted them to do all of John Carpenter's movies that way because I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. And they did it for They Live. They've literally done it for all of his movies. I don't understand why they're not doing it for this one. But here it is. They do have a two exclusive poster, 2 slipcover set. And they have the original artwork on one of those. And they have a new artwork on the other that is pretty trippy and looks upside down. So you can get the 2 posters and the 2 slipcovers. But no black box edition. I am a little bummed about that, but let's dig into this. This will definitely be, for like $4 more, I'm definitely getting the thing with the 2 posters and the 2 slipcovers. So it's $39.98 for that. Let's see what they have here. It says there is a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative. It's going to be presented in Dolby Vision. There is an audio commentary with director John Carpenter that looks like it says it's new. And there's a second disc with Blu-ray features on here. And these look like they are archival. But, you know, guys, Scream Factory doesn't always put all their special features, new special features up here soon. But there's definitely, it's saying there's a new audio commentary with director John Carpenter. There is a Time to Kill Some Vampires, interviews with John Carpenter, the cinematographer, on and on. Jack the Vampire Slayer, an interview with James Woods, the first vampire. Interview with Thomas Ian Griffith, Raising the Stakes, an interview with the special effects artist. Padre, an interview with actor Tim Guinea, original making of featurette, theatrical trailer, TV spots in the still gallery. So this is a 2-disc set, but it does not say yet whether or not this is all the special features. If it is, then it looks like the only new special feature we're getting is the audio commentary with John Carpenter. It looks like the rest of this is archival on the Blu-ray. The exclusive offer contains the 2-disc 4K with the slipcover featuring the original artwork. You get the additional slipcover. So that's all the info we have for it right now. So I have been waiting on this release. I want all of John Carpenter's movies in 4K. I don't care what you think of them. I want to collect them all. I'm bummed that, like, I literally have all of my John Carpenters up here. If you can see them, we're going to do a room tour soon. All of those black box sets, and Screen Factory's put out all of his movies in black box sets. I'm not sure why we're not getting this one unless they add it later, but as of right now, this announcement's been out for about an hour. It has not been added. So let's see what else we got. You can, of course, get the standard release of Vampires. No posters, no extra slipcovers. It's going to save you a grand total of $3.99. And so, I mean, you can save $3.99. And then here is the other big release, Vampire Month, I guess, in January. This is the last voyage of the Demeter. And I didn't love this movie like a lot of people love this movie. Maybe because I know the book so well. But like, you know exactly what's going to happen. And they didn't really show Dracula very much in this movie. Now, this is a very dark lit movie, so I imagine on 4K it's going to look good. You have the same option here of the 2 posters and the 2 slipcovers. Y'all, it's $3.99 more. Like, I'm going to pay the $4 for the extra slipcover and 2 posters. It says there's a new 4K presentation from the original Elements. So, I don't know if this movie was shot on film or not. So when you change the word from the original negative, original film, this may have been shot on a 4K digital camera. And so the elements they have is 4K digital. So you wouldn't say that it's from the original camera negative because there isn't one. That would be a guess from me. Because I haven't looked it up. It says we're going to get Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, new audio commentary from a film critic, new audio commentary from actor David Dashmus. I cannot say that guy's name. God forgive me. I cannot say his name. Audio commentary with the director and the producer. And then the second disc is a Blu-ray. It's going to have the film again. The same extra features there, plus a couple. It's going to have a new interview with folklorist and author Dr. Karen Stoltznow. It's going to have deleted scenes, an alternate opening. That's interesting. From the Pits of Hell, Dracula Reimagined featurette. Evil is Aboard, the making of the last voyage of the Demeter. And Dracula and the Digital Age featurette. So I'm guessing this movie was probably shot in digital. Now you can go and say the last voyage of the Demeter shot on what? There's a website called Shot on What. And most of the time it will give you the answer. So it looks like that it was shot on a Sony Venice. So if it was shot on a Sony Venice using Arri Prime lenses, it was shot in digital. I don't see any other. That's just what it gives me. So that's why they're saying Elements probably and not the camera negative. I know this movie has a lot of its fans. I am okay with this movie. It is an eventual target. It's not a like, oh man, I got to have that right this second for me. Now, this comes out about 5 days before my birthday, so maybe somebody will get it for me for my birthday present. But it's not up there with Vampires. Vampires is way up here. I wish they had the extra special set of Vampires, but there you go. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And, of course, you can get the standard set without all that and save yourself $3.99. Now, the other 4K that for some reason doesn't even like they're releasing with a slipcover is Sanctum, which is a James Cameron movie that I've never seen this movie, y'all. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm intrigued. The problem with this movie for me is I believe it's based on a true story and it takes place in caves. And I am super claustrophobic. Those movies make me super anxious. I can't hardly watch The Descent at all. Those movies make me very, very anxious and claustrophobic. Now, this is going to have a new 4K presentation. Again, it says from the original Elements. Presented in Dolby Vision. It's going to have an audio commentary with Emily Higgins and Billy Dunham. I really wanted to say Bull Durham when I read that guy's name. Disc 2 is going to be the Blu-ray. It's going to have... So disc 1's also going to have an audio commentary. It doesn't say that this is new. But disc 2 is going to also have a few extras. Deleted scenes, the real story of Sanctum. I know nothing about this movie, y'all. I 100% know nothing about it except for... that it takes place like in a cave system. So there you go. I don't know about that one. $31.99 doesn't even come with a slipcover. I'm not sure. I'm surprised at that. But Sanctum, the other 4K release this month. And then it looks like, unless they add more, and I'm just going to refresh this page one more time. The only other thing they're releasing in January is this Shaw Brothers Volume 5. Listen, y'all know I'm not a huge fan of J-horror. These 60s and 70s martial arts movie, I know, God bless you, you are living in a golden age if this is something that you're super into. I've never gotten into them. My brother and I were huge into 80s martial arts movies. Sho Kosugi was a star for us growing up. But that's where it was left. With the Sho Kosugi films, Enter the Ninja, American Ninja, all that kind of stuff. I never got into these kind of films. Of course, I was a Bruce Lee fan, but the Shaw Brothers stuff, and it feels like every boutique, these films must be able to acquire these films for almost nothing, because it seems like every boutique, every release is putting out Shaw Brothers and Shaw Scope and Shaw this and Shaw Brothers that, and martial art, 50s, 60s, 70s foreign martial arts films all over the place. My guess is they're getting them for dirt cheap, just almost nothing. And they're packaging and putting them out, which if you are a big fan of these, that is awesome. And I'm not one that complains over releases, because everybody looks for something different. For me though, because all of these boutiques are putting out this stuff all the time, every month, it feels like they acquired it cheap and they're putting it out as filler. That's what, and just throwing a big net and seeing what they get back. Because this is an 11 film set. There's an endless supply of these films, and I'm sure they're getting them for nothing. So, but if you are all into this, it is all loaded. They've got tons of new features. A lot of the stuff though is a lot of the new stuff is with film historians and film critics and stuff like that. But you are in hog heaven. Arrow's putting it out too, right? Shaw Scope, just tons of Shaw Brothers movies and these old martial arts movies. It's not my thing, but if you're into it, it seems like you've got something every month to buy that's always a filler with the release announcements. And this month from Screen Factory, it is Shaw Brothers Classic Volume 5 with 11 films plus an exclusive poster for $139.99. Now, that is all that they have out right now from for January. That is a very, very light month. That's only 4 total releases, counting the Shaw Brothers classic set. You got Sanctum, you got Shaw Brothers, Last Voyage of the Demeter, and Vampires. That's a pretty light month. I guess they figure everybody's going to be trying to recover. I would have thought if they were going to have such a light month that they would have put Vampires out on the big collector set with the black box to at least have like a little something to zhuzh it up a little bit, because it's a pretty light month when you take into account like we recently just had a month that had The Faculty and Silent Night, Deadly Night and Far and Away and Riddick and on and on. The Holdovers and Ted and all that kind of stuff, and that's just the 4Ks. The Gift, like they did a lot, and so this seems very light, but there's a couple of big titles there for sure, especially Vampires. If you're a Carpenter fan, I know a lot of people are fans of The Last Voyage of the Demeter, so that is Scream Factory's latest release there. Now, when it comes to some other stuff that's dropped out there since the last time I talked to you guys, this is not anything that I'm like, it's like not a big target for me, but there is the Short Night of Glass Dolls collector edition. This is from I think this is from Celluloid Dreams. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, this is from Celluloid Dreams. If you're into this title, Short Night of the Glass Dolls, Collector's 4K Edition, an absolutely loaded set. Loaded set. I have to admit, I know nothing about this movie. Absolutely nothing. A 4K transfer and full restoration, HDR10, isolated score, commentary track by the writer and director, commentary track by film critics, new Grindhouse trailer in 4K resolution, an English trailer in 4K, an Italian trailer in 4K, an unreleased English trailer, a 2-disc Blu-ray with all kinds of extras in it. This thing just goes on and on and on and on with the extras that it has in it. So, I actually know nothing about this movie, Short Night of the Glass Dolls. I know this is the label, I believe, that just released The Case of the Bloody Iris. Everybody keeps telling me I need to check that out. If you guys want me to, I can try to get a hold of that and check it out and review it and everything for you. The same thing with this, but you guys let me know. Because, I like my first time 4K watch reviews. Those are always fun to do. And then Kino Lorber coming out with another announcement. They've just been kind of like just feeding announcements out here. You got the Ben Affleck, Gary Sinise, Charlize Theron movie Reindeer Games coming out soon. A 4K scan from the original 35mm camera negative. This movie also, I feel like it has Danny Trejo in it as well. I haven't seen this one in a long time, but Reindeer Games coming out in 4K. Kino Lorber's just kind of sneaky, just dropping good shit out there all over the place. It looks like there is a huge 70th anniversary 4K remaster box set of Godzilla coming out here with featured films will be Godzilla Raids Again, Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, Terror of Mechagodzilla, The Return of Godzilla, Godzilla and Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla Final Wars. It's like it's going to be around $400 for this big set here. So there you go, Godzilla fans with a big one out there coming. It's the announcements have kind of slowed down somewhat. We got the 4K announcement of Seinfeld coming. Universal just announced a Blu-ray set of the entire series of the TV show House. That's coming out. So I'm not sure if they're doing everything in 4K. It's interesting they didn't do this one, but there it is. Never been on Blu-ray before, I don't believe. Hugh Laurie is great in that. And that is most of everything. Internal Affairs. This is a Richard Gere, Andy Garcia movie. 4K, hitting the streets on the 17th of December. So there's trust him. He's a cop. Richard Gere, Andy Garcia. I haven't seen that movie in forever. And yeah, that's... Oh, there is one thing I wanted to mention to you guys before we get to the Criterion sale. This complete and utter bullshit right here. Right here. I can't remember which side I'm putting this on. The Mandalorian Season 3 4K Steelbook coming out. Price $75.99. Now, this is one of the few series I'm trying to collect. I did really enjoy this series. They haven't announced Boba Fett, and you almost need Boba Fett series because that's like Mandalorian Season 2.5. They didn't put it out. They put out Ahsoka and Loki with this, but $75.99. Now, the first two seasons 4K Steelbooks were $45. Holding movies hostage, and these price points are getting out of control. If these weren't gifts, and I almost want to return these on general principle. I showed you guys, I didn't know these were coming. Like my mom knew that me and my son went and saw this movie. So I have both of these. These prices are ridiculous. They're getting ridiculous. This one never came down on Amazon. It was set $65 or whatever was paid for it. $49.99 was paid for this one. That is stupid, y'all. This is like, I understand free market, all that kind of stuff. I also understand holding movies hostage and price gouging. I'm trying to get the stuff that I want off Disney Plus so that Disney Plus can be erased from my life. This shit with The Mandalorian, $75, that's ridiculous, y'all. Absolutely ridiculous. I will not pay that for it. You look, see, Ahsoka, $52. That's still too expensive. Loki, $52. Still too expensive. But see, those aren't selling. They're not as popular. And this should be, it's a whole season, so it has every right to be $45. $76 plus tax, $80. That's asinine. That is completely ridiculous. And, uncool. Completely uncool. So maybe if it goes Black Friday on sale, because I'm trying to get these so I can get rid of it, but that is absolutely ridiculous. Another thing, you guys know, the Criterion 50% off sale is going on right now through Barnes & Noble. Well, if you follow me, you know about a month ago, I told you I went and talked to the people, the district manager and stuff at the Barnes & Noble here, and a lot of the stores are pulling Criterion's pulling their stock. They're not going to carry Criterion in the stores anymore. Only select bigger stores and highest volume stores where they can securely protect them, right? But I would love to patron physical brick and mortar stores, but if you're going to take my stock and I'm going to have to drive an hour away, that is ridiculous. Because there's only about 3 or 4 stores in this state that's going to carry them anymore. And that's going to happen to more and more states, is what they told me. So you're going to have to go to big hub stores in order to buy them. Well, the closest hub store to me is at Mall of Georgia, and that's 45 minutes to an hour away, depending on traffic. But right here on Amazon, they are doing the Criterion 4K collection. They are matching those 50% off prices. So like you can see, Repo Man, that's a target of mine, $24.98. I can get it delivered to my door tomorrow. So while I would love to patron a physical brick and mortar store, it will cost me so much time and money to go do that. I can just order here. So if you didn't know, the 50% off sale is going on, and you can get that through Amazon. So I will talk about what I'm getting later. But there's definitely a few. I have very few Criterion targets, but the ones I have targeted, I really want. So that is a way to get them. That sale runs through the end of this month. And at some point here, I'll probably have an affiliate link, maybe to Amazon, where you guys can click down below, and it'll help kick back pennies on the dollar or pennies on the tens of dollars to the channel if you purchase through me. But right now I don't have that up. But if you want to see what I'm looking for in my wish list, targets list, all that stuff, I keep that down below. And I just wanted to come on here real quick and give you guys some physical media news. I know we're in a weird changeover position from all horror-focused content to some different things that I'm doing. But horror focus was for spooky season only. We're not going to leave horror. We'll probably still be half horror or more. But I like to mix in and talk about other movies and stuff too, especially we're going to get into Christmas time. I got some big lists and stuff coming for you guys. But don't worry, we haven't forgot horror, and we're going to have a lot of fun all the time. If that sounds like something that is your jam, we do this physical media news, 4K reviews, lists, rankings, all that kind of stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. Like and subscribe. It really does help me out. If you want to help support this channel, you can join below at my Patreon link or right here on YouTube. Couple dollars. Get special access to special videos, unboxings, behind the scenes looks at my movie making, short films, all kinds of stuff that I've done, and get your name in lights here and really help support the channel. I thank you all so much. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.